This is sports stuff. Betting stuff.
Ciao.
This is the number one sports betting podcast coming out of the sports stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I am your host of hosts, Muff. Along with me today is
Which one of us is going to go first? I am the Ohio
Hello.
Homer, Jim.
And I am your medical degenerate, Alex.
this is week two of football betting for us. And week one could have gone a lot worse on the collective. So
Oh, I don't know
Definitely
about
could have.
that. Like, I only hit one game. I'm not the happiest guy.
collectively could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Could have been. So, as always is the case for these episodes, now that we're into this, we will go over our best bets from last week, our win and loss records. And then this week, we don't only get to talk about college football, we also get to talk about the NFL slate.
I'm excited.
We do. It's always good to have more football to talk about than less.
Absolutely.
And more football to bet on.
No?
As a reminder, you can follow us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, sports.w/Jim _ Muff on Facebook, on YouTube.
On the team.
Rate, review, subscribe, hit the bell, poke,
Tickle.
tickle. I still
That's
don't
not a
know.
real one.
Still don't know what that's from, but
Definitely not a real one. I just made that up.
do what you got to do. So we have first. We'll get into last week's best bets and our records. One of us had a winning record.
It was me. Sorry. Spoiler alert. Forgot to say it.
Since you had the winning record, Alex, we're going to let you say your piece first.
Okay. So my first pick was WVU at Pitt, the over 51.5, which was a win. It was my one win I took away. Ball State at Tennessee. I hate to say it, but Jim told me so. I'm still not going to listen to him when he says that. But
That's my one.
my Jim's told me so. Bets are 0-1 on the year with a loss. Duke versus Temple. Duke minus 6.5 was a win. Illinois at Indiana, which was unfortunately we'll talk later. A loss. I took Illinois money line, and then we had Rutgers, Boston College. I took Rutgers plus 6.5 and covered for the win, making me 3-2.
All right, I went 2-2. I took Penn State minus 3.5 against Purdue, and that was the win. I took UNC and App State over 55.5, which was apparently the lock of the century because they scored like over 120 points collectively, and they didn't even need overtime. It was helped by what App State's like 6 touchdowns in the final quarter.
Yeah, like back to back.
Yeah, so almost just by that, I was halfway there, just in the fourth quarter with one team. And then my losses, unfortunately, was Illinois money line was a loss against Indiana, and I took the over 59.5 Notre Dame Ohio State, which also did not come to fruition for me. And I was 2-2.
I was 1-3. I had some moral victories. My first moral victory was I took Pitt minus 7.5. I lost that, but Pitt did win, so moral victory.
I like how we're playing. Do moral victories count at the end of the year? Do they pay the bills?
In my heart, it counts.
Okay. This is a betting show. Don't care about moral victories.
That's fine.
Good teams win, great teams cover, Jim.
The other loss I had was Utah minus 2.5. Really thought I was going to get that one. And then I lost, which everybody else lost, which was the Illinois at Indiana money line. The win I got was the Penn State at Purdue, Penn State minus 3.5. Shockingly, I won.
Great teams cover. Great teams cover.
Yeah, sure.
So that puts us Alex at 3-2, winning record for the season thus far. I'm at 2-2. Jim is at 1-3. Now into our specialty picks. First, we have the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, 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 pow.
Unfortunately, we start off with a loss. We took Illinois plus the points, but it was only 1.5, and that did not come out victorious for us. I blame the referees. Always an easy target for the touchdown not happening in the end zone, which I thought would have swayed the tide of that game.
Fair.
It was early enough that I can't say that it was the reason, but I think it would have created the momentum in Illinois' favor. So is what it is. Blame the zebras. The next specialty pick was the newly named risky pick, which is the Scott Frost onside kick risky pick of the week. I thought that was like a barf sound. There we go. And that was Florida money line versus Utah in direct conflict with one of Jim's best bets. But the good news is it came out victorious, so we're 1-0.
Yeah, the risky pick paid off, which is the total opposite of last year. So
it's because it was named after somebody that sucks as an NFL head coach.
Yes,
it was very risky though. Very risky last year. He risked it all and did not come out on top. Or at least so we know. Next, we had the Muff Parlay of Death, which starts out the season 0-1. And we made it through Thursday because the first leg was Penn State -3.5 versus Purdue. That was a win. And it didn't make it past Friday, as Illinois +1.5 versus Indiana was a loss. And then it wouldn't have mattered come Saturday because the over 59.5 Notre Dame Ohio State did not pan out.
This is true.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even close. But if Illinois would have won, and we would have had to watch that Notre Dame Ohio State game and had the parlay of death on the line, it would have been too much. I think it would have put Jim over the edge.
Yeah, it would have been rough.
Yeah,
I think really it was for the best that it was shot by then.
Yeah, it was better. And that was my leg of this parlay because honestly, I thought Ohio State was going to score more points, and the game was going to be higher scoring, and Ohio State was going to put up a lot of points, especially in like the end of the second quarter and the whole second half. And I just thought Notre Dame was going to be playing catch up and go over. So I will take the L on that as well. So we are 1-0 in the risky pick, 0-1 in the hit stick pick of the week, and 0-1 in the parlay of death. We need more pow pows.
That's why I thought maybe if I give it more energy there, it would like hype it up for this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just need Chris Berman to come in and be a guest.
Whoop. Whoop. Sorry, my allergies are bad, so I can't really get a good like high pitch. Whoop whoop.
Run, bun, 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 stop, bun, 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 bun. So this will bring us into this week's college football games. We have many games sitting here. So I'm going to let you two start this off about some games that we are considering, some games of interest.
I'll go App State at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is giving 18.5 over under 53.5. I think the giving of the points by Texas A&M is a little high.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I looked at this. I did you have this one on here? I think I added it on.
You added it, but
yes. So my thoughts are App State plus 18.5, or you can also look at the over in this game. But is it a fluke that App State scored so many points last week with North Carolina?
Yes. It's a fluke to score 70.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, obviously 70 is a fluke. They would cover the freaking over here by themselves. But I don't know. If you're looking at like a 30-something game or 30-something, 20-something game, you cover.
I don't think the over-under is something I would touch. I think App State could cover that 18.5.
I am staying away from this game. I think this is a recency bias pick. And I do not want to get caught up in some App State love. And again, remember the game last week was at App State. So they're traveling to an SEC school after a pretty emotional and up and down game. So I don't know. I just don't trust App State enough to go anywhere on this. Either way. So App State could be very competitive. They could also lose by 3+ touchdowns.
So you're saying it's a trap?
It's a trap in my opinion, because I think a lot of people are going to be high on the App State plus the points and on the over. And I haven't watched this line all week, but my guess is that it may have gone up. It may have been a lower line to open.
Nope. The line last Monday, or not last Monday, this past Monday, was still 16.5. So I guess it
It's
has.
18 and a half
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry. You're right. It had gone up.
So
Sorry.
people actually are going in Texas A&M's favor. So there's more bets
Yes.
going on them to cover. So apparently nobody is
Well,
trusting App State.
well, no. When yeah, if you're right. Sorry.
Yeah. So the line has shifted in favor of Texas A&M.
Yes.
I don't. What was the over under? I'm curious on that.
I did not. I didn't. I didn't write it down.
Okay.
So,
Alabama. Oh, sorry.
so are we all staying away from that? Is what's the verdict?
I think officially I'm staying away from it, but
Yeah,
I would not be disappointed if someone did try to dabble in it. I see where they would be coming from.
fair enough. Fair enough.
I like this next one.
Okay, go ahead.
Alabama. Alabama minus 20.5 at Texas with the over under at 65.5.
This is the
I
to
Go
me.
ahead.
This is Texas back.
And I like to think yes as my Big 12 bias, and I like Texas plus 20.5. It's a home game. They're supposed to be back. All signs point to
Every year they're supposed to be back. It's Texas.
I agree. Since Vince Young left, they've been supposed to be back for every year.
I don't know. This year's different.
And that's why I'm staying away, because until they prove that this year is different, don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, that to me this is a bigger trap game than the previous. I wouldn't mess with this at all.
Yeah. Now it is a game day game, so there's gonna be a lot of hype. And if Texas comes out emotionally controlled, like I can see them coming out all cylinders rolling, and then Bama just catching them. Just catching them because Bama's Bama, right? They're
Yeah.
not going to make mistakes. Texas will make these little mistakes that Bama's going to explode into big plays. And that's just why I just don't trust Texas. I am excited that Pat McAfee will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there all the time now, right?
Yeah, Jim, are you upset that Pat McAfee will no longer be on Friday Night SmackDown?
No, I'm good. I think he'll be back after football season.
Yeah.
He's a talented individual, but his talents are probably better used at game day.
Yeah, I agree. And here's something I
very
want.
maturity, Jim.
Yeah. Here's something I want to ask you two about that whole situation, the game day situation, and Pat McAfee be coming into the fold now.
Yeah.
Is Pat McAfee being groomed to replace Lee Corso?
Probably.
He
Like,
would have a very similar, not personality, but he has the character.
he has the novelty factor to me.
Yes.
Like
That's what I'm. Yeah.
like this is like his trial run. Is can he fill that void? Because there's been a lot of talk about Lee Corso. Like people have been dogging Lee Corso for the past couple of years, and they started this year already.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're ready to put him out to pasture on the game day situation.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I don't. I feel indifferent. I never cared for ESPN's game day. That blasphemous. I
Really?
know. As soon as I like Fox's better.
A lot of people were kind of switching to Fox, but I still fit like the novelty of game day. I like the whole like college campus, seeing the crowds. I like the Lee Corso pick. I don't know. I like them just because it like to me is like traditional, like hearing Kirk Herbstreit talk on Saturday morning.
The SEC and ESPN to me are synonymous. So
Jim has switched to the Big Ten Fox situation.
yes, I did.
Oddly. Moving on to the next game, South Carolina plus 8.5 at Arkansas. This is another one. I like Arkansas minus 8.5 here. The over
This
under
is
52.5.
I like this a lot for Arkansas. I think they cover.
Yeah, Arkansas at home.
Yeah, this
Woo
might be one of
pig.
my locks.
I was just gonna say, woo pig.
Suey. I would lean Arkansas. I again still don't know. I mean, they have a pretty solid rushing attack, and I don't know. No, I honestly don't know enough about South Carolina's defense. If I did some more research and understood where the South Carolina's defense was stronger against the pass or the run, and if they were stronger against the run, I would probably stay away from the Arkansas, because Arkansas is pretty much all run. Like that's their offense is predicated off of that. If South Carolina was strong against the pass and not so good against the run, then yeah, I'd be all on board with this. I just haven't done enough research to understand that situation.
I'm about it. It's going to be one of my locks. I'm pretty sure.
Next, we have Tennessee minus 6.5 at Pitt, over under 65.5.
Very interesting. I
I'm
like
not
this game a
touching this
lot.
game. Yeah, I like it as a spectator, but I'm not touching it.
Why?
No, I don't trust either team. I'll never bet on Pitt, period.
I like the under. I like Pitt to
I don't
cover,
hate I don't hate the under.
and I like Pitt to cover. I don't know that I'm going to make it a bet, but like it's definitely something I'm thinking about.
I don't
Well,
I don't want to mess with it. I still like, again, this is one of those I don't know enough about Tennessee just yet. Pitt obviously has what people were saying, even though it wasn't necessarily on display last week, like a top 3 defensive line. Um, but I just don't know because WVU torched them on the ground. So this is one of those I need to wait and see a little bit more about where these teams fall in the scale of economies here.
all right. Washington State at Wisconsin. You have Wisconsin minus 17.5. The over and under at 49.5.
I don't trust Wisconsin for anything yet.
Me
Oh,
either.
Don't
Nope.
don't want to mess with it. Now, if this was Washington State at Wisconsin, if
Week
this was,
7.
yeah, and weather was starting to get colder,
Yep.
and Wisconsin was able to do that, but Wisconsin is also saying they're going to do more in the pass game this year, and I do not
See
have
me week
any.
7. I'm not going to do more in the pass game week 2. No, thank you.
Yeah, we're not there yet, so
Yep.
staying away.
yeah, I agree. I don't want to touch this, but I don't know if Wisconsin will. I mean, I don't really trust Big Ten teams to score 17.5 points in a game.
I agree.
Well,
And
moving
I'm just
on.
going to be honest.
Well,
Yep.
moving on to the next game, Iowa State plus 3.5 at Iowa,
Yes.
over under 39.5. I, I, I'm going to take the under in this game. Iowa scored 7 points last week.
4 of which came from 2 safeties.
Right. And Iowa State is, as far as Big 12 teams go, a stronger defensive team with a running attack. And this just feeds into a punt, 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 field goal, punt, 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 maybe touchdown game.
I really like Iowa State to cover here.
Me too.
I would also
Me too.
venture that, but I have more faith in the under.
You have more
I
faith in the under?
Yes, I have more faith in the under of this game. I have no faith in Iowa's offense, but I have faith in their defense.
fair.
I'm with Alice. I'm gonna say Iowa State covers.
Okay, next we
All
have
right.
Florida minus 5.5, hosting Kentucky, over under 52.5.
I like Florida to cover. I'm real impressed with them in the Utah game. Saw a little bit of the Kentucky game last week. Not not impressed with Kentucky. I think Florida covers pretty easily here.
I I'm probably not going to take either one of these, but I do like the concept of Florida covering.
Yes, if I was forced to something here, I would probably take Florida to cover. It's at the Swamp. They're coming off a big win for the program to start out Billy Napier's coaching career. But Kentucky's a different team than Utah in my mind. Similar quarterback play. They have
Yeah.
but less I think pass effective.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky is a running team, and Utah was not necessarily a run first team. So I just don't know enough about Florida's defense to trust them to cover. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick Florida to cover.
All right.
Fair. USC minus 7.5 at Stanford. Over
Pound
under
it,
6.5.
pound it,
USC minus 7.5, right?
pound it. USC minus 7.5.
I agree.
You're
I agree.
really taking that.
Yeah, best bet. Lock it in.
I agree completely.
I am staying away.
That's fair. You haven't come to the dark side that USC is a team just yet.
I don't think they are. I think this is a rivalry game if the Pac-12 has those. and I would not mess with this.
I'm just taking this solely on USC points. USC
Mhm.
being able to score the points.
So you're
To
taking
cover.
them to cover? No
Yeah, I'm
way.
still taking them to cover. Yeah. Mhm.
No, I'm staying away. No, thank you.
Next, we have BYU minus 3.5 taking on Baylor over under 53.5.
Here's another one that like my gut says take Baylor to cover, but BYU is the one that's untested yet.
See, I don't want to touch this. BYU could be really good.
This is a week 2 trap for me. I wouldn't mess with BYU.
Yeah, I'm not touching either. But
Yep. Muff
I
Daddy?
Yeah, I don't want any part of this game.
Okay.
Baylor should be Baylor's the pick to win the Big 12, right, Alex?
yeah, they're in the conversation for sure. At the top of the conversation.
I mean,
Yeah.
know who we're talking about here. It's Alex. He won't
So,
commit
Commit to
yeah.
what?
who the real winner is of the Big 12.
I don't know yet.
See?
WVU, duh.
It's no, I mean, oh, it could be Oklahoma, it could be Baylor. Kansas State doesn't look bad. There's just a lot going on in the Big 12 right now. Okay.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, I'm not messing with it. UNC minus 6.5 at Georgia State over under 64.5. UNC obviously coming off a thrilling victory over App State. Georgia State is Georgia State. There's not a lot of faith in UNC and Mac Brown in this game, though, by only six and a
I
half points.
I like UNC minus 6.5 here, but I'm afraid it's a trap.
By
That's the
rule, I'm not allowed to bet on this game because it's Georgia State, but I would take Georgia State.
really
Yes.
that
So
makes me want
what do you
to
envision this
UNC
game?
more.
Is this a Georgia State win, or is this a Georgia State staying within like a field goal?
Staying within a field goal.
Okay. Yeah, I don't that UNC App State game I think is such an outlier to the season. I don't think we're going to see another game like that. It just had such
Georgia
a
State
straight
played tough. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. I remember the game. I don't remember the outcome, but Georgia State played tough in that last game,
Mhm.
and UNC had a dogfight with App State.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can recover. I see an emotional letdown
Yeah.
against Georgia State, who you can't have an emotional letdown.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that UNC is starting out their year at App State, at Georgia State.
Yeah, I agree.
That's interesting scheduling in my mind. And I don't think it sets them up. I think really when you're doing that scheduling, you're thinking, okay, these are two games we expect to win, so we don't care about playing away from home. But
Yeah.
this may come back to bite them a little bit in the arse. Next, we have Wake Forest minus 13.5 at Vandy over under 65.5. A Big 12 over underline.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to touch this, but I kind of like Vandy. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Wake Forest is going to win the game for sure, but I don't have enough faith that they like win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that.
Okay.
I put in here this for fun. Marshall University from Huntington, West Virginia, is playing Notre Dame. They are at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is favored by 20.5 points, and the over-under is 50.5.
Jim, what do you say about the best team in West Virginia?
Hey,
I almost put this in here myself. I like them with the points.
Marshall?
I like them with the points.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, to be honest. I think Notre Dame's obviously going to win, but I could see Notre Dame winning by 2 touchdowns, and because they're just more of a conservative play,
Yeah.
Like I don't see them going out and like having a stellar offense that puts 40 up on Marshall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I mean, again, for me, this is staying away because I don't know enough about Notre Dame's offense yet. Obviously, Ohio State dominated them last week in the second half. And that quarterback showed that he can do some things, especially in the first half, but just got locked down. And this is not a bold assumption, but I'm assuming that Marshall's defense is nowhere near the caliber of Ohio State's defense. So
Yeah, I agree.
this could be a game where Notre Dame's offense comes alive because it's just a different level of competition. But until they show me, I am not going to trust it.
Yeah.
So would you look at the over then?
No, because I don't know about Notre Dame's offense just yet.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like if I had a better sense of their quarterback play and what that's going to translate week to week,
Yeah.
cool. I'll know a little bit more about the consistency, but Notre Dame's offense could score 50 points in this game. Notre Dame's offense could score 20. I just don't know.
Yeah. I got you.
Next, we have Texas Tech -2.5 taking on Houston Cougars over under 63.5. Dana Holgerson led Cougs. Alex, do you just pick against Dana or?
No, yeah, no, I would pick Texas Tech.
Yeah, I would too. And it might be one of my locks.
FDH and not fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked pretty hard at Texas Tech -2.5. I don't think I have enough other things that I like a little better, but it's definitely a consideration.
Yeah. This is just one that I don't trust. I don't trust my thoughts on either team to mess with it, so staying away.
There. Probably a good choice.
The Orangemen of Syracuse -22.5 taking on UConn over under 49.5. UConn's dog shit. Like there's no two ways around that UConn is just a dog shit team. But
not this year.
Obviously, they're Syracuse is favored by almost 20.
I'm telling you, UConn plus 22.5.
What do you know about UConn that we don't know, Alex?
You're an idiot.
This is Jim's pick.
UConn plus 22.5. I've watched them. They were one of the only.
Put money on it?
Yes.
Mark this down. This is my pick of the week against Alex.
So what about their first game made you think that this is a lock, Alex?
Because they played better than they played last year.
Oh, that doesn't say a whole lot.
I know, but it says something.
If you polish up the dog shit, Alex, guess what? Still dog shit.
I'm okay with that.
You're putting this down as your best bet.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's one of them.
Jim 1-0 against Alex in these situations for the year.
Yep. I'll be 1-1.
Okay. Oklahoma State -11
for major comeback.
Yeah, well, the setback happens for 3 weeks in a row. It does set up for a major comeback. Oklahoma State -11.5 taking on Arizona State. The Sun Devils over under 57.5.
Alex, you put this in here. So
yeah, I was looking at for a little bit about Oklahoma State, but I think I'm going to stay away from it. That was it. I put it in there.
That's good because I'm not touching it.
It was on my list of considers.
Do not want any part of this.
Boston College.
Last game.
Jim's favorite team. Jim's favorite team, Boston College at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is favored by 2.5.
This is that kryptonite pick.
I mean, the line is conducive to taking Boston College because they just have to win by field goal.
I really want it, but there's the NFL's back this week. I need to save my monies. I'm not gonna pick this, but man, it's tempting. It's tempting. It's all depends on how I bet this week. Am I gonna throw away the conservative route and just do what I usually do last year and just shotgun blast the whole thing? I'm gonna leave Boston College out of it.
And just so everyone knows, in the middle of last weekend, in a text message with Alex and I, Jim swore off the safe bets and said, "Screw it, I need to shotgun blast again." And then I think a combination of Alex and I pointed out the games that Jim also was talking about betting last week, and they were all losses. So the shotgun could have easily turned into a 1-5 or 6 week for Jim.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
So it's all about limiting the losses, Jim. Limit the losses.
Yeah.
So that's the college slate. To bring us into the NFL games, as is typical, we will give our thoughts on every NFL game. Obviously, we're not betting all of them, but we will give our thoughts. So the game happening as we record, the Rams and the Lions, obviously will not be part of our discussion because we didn't get to record this until Thursday night.
Sorry, guys.
Well, okay. I don't know if you need to apologize.
Yeah, I think
we need to find the other people.
The girl who hit me in the back with her car.
So we
Please
clear
apologize.
hit Jim's car, not Jim as a human in the
I was
back.
gonna say, I feel like we definitely should clarify.
It definitely felt like it. Okay, it felt like it.
I'm
Well,
not downplaying your injury. I'm just saying that for the listener, we should clarify.
For the listeners,
You were not run over with a vehicle.
Jim is
right?
not in a full body cast in a hospital room right now, so
Right.
much better for him. So we will start with the Sunday slate of games, starting with the Steelers at the Bengals. Bengals minus 6.5, over under 44.5 points. I will start out by saying, who knows what's going to happen with the Steelers offense? I think we can fairly trust the Bengals offense to have some level of proficiency, but they still have an unproven offensive line against one of the strengths of the Steelers defense being the defensive line. So until we know that Joe Burrow can stay upright for a game, I do not trust anything about this. Until we know more about the Steelers offense, I don't trust anything about this.
I concur.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, Steeler fan, want Steelers to win, but not feeling confident enough to actually bet on it.
Yeah, I concur.
So next we have the Eagles at the Lions. Eagles minus 3.5, over under 48.5. Lock it down. Eagles to cover for me.
Yep. Oh, what? No. What are you talking about? Eagles to cover?
Eagles minus 3.5.
I am going the other way. Give me the Lions plus the points.
Uh, I really want to side with Jim here.
It's fine.
I feel like first of all I made a very bold statement about the Lions.
You said they're
So
going to
I
the
feel
Super
as
Bowl.
though I feel as though I need to cover versus Eagles.
I think if they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, they do need to cover against the Eagles and win. I am pretty high on the Eagles this year and what I think they can do. And they're playing at Detroit. I get it. They're on the road to start the year. But I think that Jalen Hurts, at least for the first 5 or 6 games, is going to show that his improvement from last year to this year. And I think the Eagles win by a touchdown plus.
That's my problem. Is if it was anyone but the Eagles, I would be all over this. I mean, you don't have to go 16-0 or 18-0 or whatever to win the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying I'm hopping off the Lions bandwagon. And I just this opener makes me nervous. So I think you'll catch me week 2 though. I'm all in week 2. I don't even know who they're playing. I'm betting on them.
Wait a minute. So you're not betting Detroit?
I just explained myself.
They
I
can,
didn't say I
they
was
can win the
betting them
Super
every
Bowl.
week.
They can win the Super Bowl and lose, Jim.
I didn't say I was
Alex.
betting them every week.
Whatever,
I don't
Alex.
think I ever once said I will bet the Lions every week.
First game, you're already out.
I literally just said
First
if it was
game,
anyone but the
Alex.
Eagles.
First game.
Oh, so if they were playing
Okay, Muff, here we go.
the Bucks,
I would honestly feel better putting the Lions plus 3.5 versus the Bucks.
Alex is a doesn't put his money where his mouth is type fans.
mm-hmm. Okay, moving
I know
along.
I saw that and I was like,
Colts at Texans. Colts minus 7.5, over under 45.5. I am gonna lock in the over 45.5 in this game. I
Based on
think
what, Muff?
the Colts offense behind Jonathan Taylor with Matt Ryan at the helm is going to be significantly better than last year. And I think that people are sleeping on Davis Mills at quarterback at the Texans. And I think their offense is also going to be a better offense than expected. And that line at 45.5 to me seems slightly low. So I'm going to take the over.
I'm not touching this game.
Muff came strong with that. He has me. He has me bought in.
I know. Almost, but
Pew, pew,
don't
pew,
think
pew,
yet.
pew. Fire away, boys. Fire away. Next, we have the Saints at the Falcons. The Saints minus 5.5, over under 42.5. I trust nothing in this game.
Saints.
You
Yeah,
trust,
no.
You trust the Saints?
Saints. That's where I'm leaning.
All right.
Not
I can't
committing.
argue with that one.
Yeah. I don't trust James Winston. I don't trust anything
Fair.
about the Falcons yet. I think they'll be a steadier team with Marcus Mariota at the helm. But who is he throwing to? Drake London and somebody who can't play because he gambled, and
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts.
I know. I'm leaning towards the Saints, but I don't know if it'll ultimately make my money list.
It's fair. Next, we have the Ravens Jets. Ravens minus 6.5 over under 44.5. This line seems low to me.
Yeah.
I would think the Saints would be a touchdown plus.
Not Saints.
I'm sorry, the Ravens would be a touchdown plus. Thank you. And it's against the Jets. So what
I'm
is the
Give
locking
Jet?
this
me
one
the
in.
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm locking this one in.
Yeah,
Give
I
me that right now.
I
Right
would
now.
love to lock in the Ravens, but I still don't know. Still don't know. And plus, I'm a Steelers fan, so it's tough for me to bet the Ravens.
Oh, I agree, but that line's too juicy.
Fair. Patriots at Dolphins. Dolphins minus 3.5 over under 46.5. People, Vegas, the world is feeling the Dolphins right now.
I like the Dolphins a lot. I'm not going to bet this game, but I do like the Dolphins. But can we go back a few years in time and be like, when did we think the Dolphins would be over a field goal favorites against the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. That's scary to me. It's bad. I don't. Nope. Not gonna touch it. Nope.
This is
I don't think
a
the Patriots are as bad as people think they are either, though.
yeah, and this is I want to trust Bill Belichick, and I want to trust that they can stay, within a touchdown, and have this be a close game. But I still don't know. Like the Patriots, right? They have this running back by committee. They have Mac Jones. Who's Mac Jones throwing to? This isn't Tom Brady throwing to these no-name receivers. This is Mac Jones throwing to these no-name receivers. And I just don't feel that he's there yet to guide a team to the promised land week to week. He may have a very good game and Patriots win, but I just don't. He's not there yet for me to be consistently in his corner.
That's fair.
Next, we'll say the highlight revenge game of the week. The Browns at the Panthers. The Browns are favored by 1.5 with Jacoby Brissett under center, and an over-under at 41.5, which shows there's not a lot of confidence in the offenses in this game.
What happens if I take Panthers money line?
I have that on my best bets. Lock it down.
What happens?
What do you
I
mean?
make more money.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they are Jim the underdog.
Okay.
So theoretically, they could be a risky pick of the week as well.
I was just gonna say, is that a money line dog?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the risk? That might be the risky pick noise.
But it's the onside kick.
Risky pick.
Yeah, I want to watch this game. That's what I want to watch this game, and I want to see what Baker Mayfield does if he has a good game. But I do not know. I don't know. I don't want to take a pick in this game. I just want to watch it and admire from afar.
Yeah.
49ers at Bears. 49ers minus 6.5 over under 40.5. Jim, your thoughts on the Bears with Justin Fields under center?
For this game, it's a wait and see.
No. Give me the 49ers by a touchdown.
Trey Lance. Should I trust Trey Lance?
Yes. Compared to the Bears, yes.
Well, compared to the Bears, yes, I trust the 49ers organization more than the Bears, but I just don't know if I trust Trey Lance yet to guide a team to victory by a touchdown plus in week 1.
I do.
Okay. Next, we have the Jags at we are the Commanders. Bum, 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 bum. Commanders favored by 2.5 over under 43.5 points. Who's the quarterback for the Commanders?
Carson Wentz.
Exactly. I don't trust that man
Yeah,
farther than I can throw. I don't even know. What can I throw far? Thor's hammer. More than I can pick up Thor's hammer. That's how much I don't trust Carson Wentz under center. And I don't know if I don't know. Again, this is one of those, who's Trevor Lawrence throwing to? They brought in some people, but they're people that I don't trust yet either. So I don't trust this game. I don't trust it.
Sure. I'm not knocking you for that.
Yep. Raiders.
Yeah,
Raiders at Chargers. Chargers minus 3.5 over under 52.5 points. I would have expected more love for the Raiders. Maybe more of a pick 'em.
Yeah, I like the Raiders in this game.
Raiders to win or Raiders just to cover?
At least to cover. I don't think it's gonna be one of my picks just because I have a lot of other ones I haven't decided yet. But I like Raiders to win, to be honest, probably. Sorry, Jim.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay.
Can't win the Super Bowl in week 1, Alex. Remember that.
Exactly.
Can't win. I would lean Raiders plus the points. But I think the unknown here for me is the Raiders secondary, which could be torched by Justin Herbert. And that's just again, not enough research this week, everybody. I mean, we don't tout ourselves as the research
Well, there's
gurus.
not. The problem is too, we haven't gotten to watch much of like these teams play together.
Right.
Like there was a lot of shakeup this year in the NFL.
There was. So this is Derek Carr throwing to Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, um, whoever the third receiver or second receiver is. It's not Zay Jones because I think he got moved, but and what's the Raiders running game look like? Josh Jacobs, everyone wants him to be good, but is he going to be good? And the Chargers defensive line, Jim, is led by
Abosa.
Abosa. So TBD. Giants at Titans. Titans minus 5.5 over under 43.5 points. It is the Giants, which means I should want to take the Titans, but without AJ Brown getting the ball thrown to him by Ryan Tannehill, and I just think the Giants can keep this game close by keying on Derrick Henry and just making Ryan Tannehill beat him, which he has shown that he can't necessarily do week to week. And without AJ Brown to throw the ball up to, I don't trust the Titans to cover. I think they can still win, but I just don't trust them to cover.
Yeah, this game's goofy. I didn't like the line. I don't like the over under. I don't like this game at all.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't want your life.
Yeah.
Chiefs at Cardinals. Chiefs minus 5.5 over under 53.5.
It's on Muffs already. I'll tell you right now.
It's the beginning of the year and it's the Cardinals. I don't know what else to say.
Muff going
Here
better.
we go.
It's on the list. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull the trigger just yet. It's against
I
the
was gonna
Chiefs.
say, are we putting our foot down yet, or is it like new year, new rules, or how are we handling this situation?
If it was anybody but the Chiefs, this would be a lock for me. Anybody but the Chiefs. So I'm gonna think about this and I'm gonna have to make a decision when we get to the best bets. It's on the slate. I just don't know if I'm gonna take it. Anybody but the Chiefs, I choose Cardinals.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the Cardinals on this, buddy.
Packers at Vikings. Packers minus 1.5 over under 47.5. Every time the Packers and Vikings play, it's a close game. And I do not want to be caught on the wrong end of it. So, Aaron Rodgers, I hope you throw for 500 yards. You make me look like an idiot, but I'm not going to take it.
You're not taking the Packers?
I'm not.
I'm going to take the Packers money line.
Or cover?
I get more money if I take them with the money line, right?
Nope.
No, not when they're favorites.
I thought they were minus.
Packers are.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Okay.
favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My fault.
You can take them to cover, and that's the better. I mean, it's going to be pretty negligible, the difference.
Yeah, I'm going to take them to cover.
Yeah. It's 1.5, so that's an odd line. Next, we have the Bucks at the Cowboys. This is Sunday Night Football. Bucks minus 2.5 over under 50.5.
No,
This one
thank
I
you.
don't touch. What?
It's at Jerry World. Tom Brady obviously took time away. Tom Brady has some new receivers he's throwing to, and the Cowboys are just this coin flip of a team. It's a primetime game, week 1. Tom Brady typically shines in prime, but I'm not there. I'm not there to feel confident anyway in this game.
No, I agree. I'm not touching this game yet.
And in Monday Night Football in Seattle, the Broncos taking on the Seahawks. Broncos minus 6.5 over under 44.5. 2 new quarterbacks to these systems with Russell Wilson in Denver and Geno Smith in Seattle, Alex.
Well, I mean, every ounce of me wants to support Geno Smith here and throw my money where my mouth is. But I think I'm going to let this one slide.
This
if
is
anything,
too
honest,
stupid.
This
is too stupid of a game for a rivalry.
I don't think it's a rivalry. It's like it's a welcome home type game. It's not really like a rivalry.
No, thank you.
I mean, this has a similar feel just not as contentious of a situation as the Browns-Panthers game.
Yeah, is it?
But Russ Wilson left for a trade and he got paid. Baker Mayfield left because they paid somebody else.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Russ Wilson should be welcomed warmly, I would imagine. But how that will translate on the field, TBD. So that wraps up the NFL slate for week 1 and the college football slate of officially week 2, but week 3 of the season. Leads us into our best bets of the week. Alex, you have a lot going on here, and I don't know what
I
to make
know.
of all this.
I just had to think some stuff through. I had some different fonts going, but it's gonna get down to 8.
Okay, and Jim, you have a lot of games. Are you sure you're not shotgun blasting?
Yeah, I'm shotgun blasting.
Okay, at least we've come back to the normal reality. Because I have a very small slate compared to you two, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I am going to take Iowa State, Iowa under 39.5. I'm going to take USC to cover -7.5 versus Stanford. I'm going to take the Eagles to cover -3.5 versus the Lions, and the Colts Texans over 45.5.
I'm going to take South Carolina.
Hold on.
Why? Why?
The Chiefs at Cards.
Are you taking it?
Nope. We're going to stay away.
I mean, I could have told you that.
Kyler Murray proves me wrong, then I'll stay on that train until week 9.
All right. I'm taking Arkansas to cover 8.5 over South Carolina. Iowa State +3.5 over Iowa. Florida -5.5 over Kentucky. Boston College, late addition, +2.5. I can't quit you, Boston College, over Virginia Tech. Are we doing NFL games?
Yeah.
Okay. The Lions, Alex, +3.5 over the Eagles. Ravens -6.5 over the Jets. Panthers money line with the Browns. Chargers -3.5 over the Raiders, and Packers -1.5 over the Vikings.
Okay. That is a shotgun blast.
That's what I'm doing.
That's 10 games. 10.
10 was our limit, right?
Well, 9 games. Sorry, it's 9.
Oh, so he's good.
Or is it 10?
Yeah.
2, 3,
I
4,
don't go
5,
over
6,
10.
7, 8, 9. 9.
All right. I have 8 crowd picks. I have Arkansas -8.5 versus South Carolina. I have Iowa State -3.5 versus Iowa. I have USC -7.5 versus USC. Oh, Stanford. USC -7.5 for Stanford. UConn +22.5 for Syracuse. The Ravens -6.5 at the Jets. The Panthers money line versus the Browns. The 49ers -6.5 at the Bears, and the Raiders +3.5 at Chargers.
Yay!
There you have it, folks.
There's the best bets, and this is where we get to have some fun. First off, we're going to talk through the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, pow, pow.
So the lock bet. I don't think we have one.
Well, can we talk? The question is, can we talk Jim into USC -7.5 at Stanford?
No.
No, he says.
Why, Jim?
Because that's not. I don't believe in you guys. I don't think that's legit. I absolutely put my foot down and veto that son of a bitch. No.
When it wins, and when it wins, and when it wins.
And you know what? I'll eat crow, but no.
So I'm going to let you two talk out some games to consider since my slate is so small. So I'm going to let you two figure something out and try to sway me.
I'm with Muff on the Colts game. I mean,
What
I
do you
didn't
have?
bet it, but I don't think he was wrong on it.
Colts Texans over?
Yeah, his logic was sound.
I have no opposition to it.
Do you have any other options that you would like us to consider, Alex?
The Ravens. I don't want to make that a best bet. I can't do it. Panthers. No, that's no.
Okay, so the Mike also
Boston College plus 2.5.
don't
We'll do
think
Colts Texans.
don't think you're gonna sway me on that one. So the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week is
Pow, 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 pow. Colts at Texans over 45.5.
next to the Scott Frost onside kick risky pick of the week.
Bleh.
What was the other noise you made?
Bleh.
Meh, meh.
I don't remember what noise you made.
That was a noise. I think there was a noise I made, but I forget what
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was. And I can't remember what it was now.
Eh, I don't remember. Look,
I don't know either.
so look back on the tape. Look back on the tape.
Yeah, we'll have to go back to the Whoop Pig.
Suey.
Are we going with Panthers money line? I think that makes sense.
I am not going to oppose that. You both have it, and I'm not going to sit here and say I have better options to consider.
Yeah, I agree with that one completely.
And it's a spite pick too, which I'm never against spite picks.
Yeah.
They hurt me. They hurt me every time I try it. But
Yeah.
this is me jumping on the bandwagon of this spite pick, so I will do that.
There we go. I know we could get you eventually.
Which brings us to the Muff parlay of death.
Ooh. Who picked first last time? I think it was me, right? I know I picked before Alex the last time, so
I picked last. So I think it was Alex. So Alex, you get to pick first in this week's rendition.
First of all, every time I pick first, I just get turned. Anytime, I'll have eight of them. I'll have 8 of them vetoed by Jim before I find one he'll accept.
I won't make any faces.
This is your pick to the Muff Parlay of Death, Alex. You do not have to worry about Jim's opinion. Yeah, good radio. Glad we're here.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Sorry.
What are you thinking?
Sorry. I'm thinking I'm between right now Arkansas minus 8.5 and USC minus 7.5 and the Raiders plus 3.5. That's what I've narrowed it down to.
Okay.
I think my first gut pick was Arkansas minus 8.5. So I think I'm going to go with that.
Solid pick. Solid pick. Best pick in the history of the betting show. Well done.
Until it loses.
Well
I'm going to go with USC minus 7.5 at Stanford. Which
Worst fucking pick.
Probably bring some opposition from Jim.
Worst pick.
In the history of the betting show?
For you, yeah, probably.
Okay. When it wins, Jim.
Give me the Ravens minus 6.5 at the Jets.
That's painful. Painful for me to put in here.
Well, I think that was a spite pick, if I'm being honest.
That was a spite pick.
This is Jim. We don't need.
Because he knows now we're gonna have to root for him.
Jim, we don't need spite picks in this. We need.
Yeah, that's a spite pick.
Your second. No, I'm gonna veto. This is the Muff Parlay of Death.
You can't veto it.
I veto spite picks.
You just said to Alex.
I said I wouldn't veto Alex.
That's some horse shit, Muff. I actually think that's a lock.
That was me.
I don't hate it. That's what sucks.
Well, I need Jim not to say this is not a spite pick, and he actually
it's not
has
a spite
reasons.
Pick. I think it's a lock.
Okay, I just need you to say it. I need you to feel it in your heart of hearts.
I feel it in my heart.
That's all I
in
need
your
now.
What?
Heart.
But it's a bonus.
I swear I thought you said in your hard parts.
In my hard parts.
Jim's
I was like, please stop talking.
Jim's pants just got tight. Watch out.
Football is back.
Football is back. And obviously also in the Muff Parlay of Death is always the Mike Allstott hits the pick of the week. So that is Colts Texans over 45.5. So to recap, the Mike Allstott hits the pick of the week.
Pow, pow, pow.
Colts Texans over 45.5. The Scott Frost onside kick risky pick of the week. Panthers money line taking on the Browns, and the Muff Parlay of Death is Colts Texans over 45.5. South Carolina at Arkansas minus 8.5. USC minus 7.5 versus Stanford, and Ravens minus 6.5 versus the Jets. Jets. Sorry about it.
Yeah, let's go. Hoping for a better week than last week.
Hey,
it can only go up from here, Jim.
It can't get much worse. It can still get worse.
That's true. Technically, it could get worse.
But in your shotgun blast mentality, you're going to have more wins. I am almost assured.
That's true.
It's just, will it translate into a winning record is what we need to see. So
I doubt it.
well, you can always hope, pray, love, eat, pray, love, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So brings us to the end of this week's show, week 2 betting show of Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff. Typically, this would be a time whenever we would outro the show in a specific fashion, but as is customary, we have done zero prep work and discussion of how we're going to end the show this week.
Oh, yeah.
We decided we were going to find another way to end the show.
We did not.
But we have not found it.
I think we need Lizzo.
Oh.
What song?
It's about damn time.
It's for us to win.
Yeah.
I don't know that song well enough to know how to outro this, Jim. So you two can figure this one out.
I mean, that's a lot.
Maybe this week we'll make some money.
Maybe
it's about it.
That's week. Good.
Okay.
Maybe this week the picks will fall in our favor. Maybe this week that onside kick will go to 2-0. And maybe this week we will make some money because it's
about damn time.